right, another segment from Pet Care with my expert Kevin here with me, and today is very interesting to me. We talked about fish, we've talked about hamsters, we talked about a lot of different things, but more people have dogs or cats than anything else out there. I go in, like I told you, I come in here and I look, Kevin, I say, what in the world, and which one do I, what do I feed my dog? I mean, and it's so hard to pick and choose because there's so many different brands and things like that. I'm getting ready to get, so just so you know, I'm getting ready to get 2 little puppies, and I've got an older guy that I already have. So if I'm looking, so it's 2 different types of dog food that I need, I guess, you know, but when you're looking at it, how do I know what I need?
Well, yeah, it can be overwhelming. What you first got to remember is, no matter what the dog breed is, they're not too far off DNA-wise from the wolf. Yes, there is a difference, obviously, between a Chihuahua and a Great Dane. They burn different, amounts of fat and protein. Right. If you figure you walk around the block, that little dog is taking 1,000,000 steps compared to that, Great Dane. With that said, still the whole makeup, the idea of what you're doing or what you're looking for is all basically the same.
Okay.
All right.
So now how do I, because I come in, first of all, is it a preference for me personally whether I want to do dry or can or, what is that?
If you can do dry, it's going to make your life a lot easier. Nutritionally, it's just as good for the dog.
Right.
Canned food will enhance the flavor. So if you bring home a little dog, you want to make sure that it eats because they can crash. It's a whole other thing, but they can crash easy. So you want to make sure they eat. And that's where the canned food would come in. But obviously, if you can go with the dry food, it's a lot easier. You fill it up and they eat it, where the canned food's going to leave a mess behind, and you got to,
Right. So, but now then coming into it, because I'm sitting here and I look and I say, okay, what do I buy?
Right.
Yeah, but because they all got different things on the labels.
What you want to do
confused.
is, now they came out with, you're right, tons of things: small breed, large breed, puppy, senior, the whole bit. What they found is that, yes, they do have, I'm going to contradict myself and say, yeah, the little guys need a little bit different as they're developing than the big guys. And that's why, years ago you didn't have those choices. So they found that the large breeds, they literally had growing pains. So they did formulate them to match each one. Now, what that means is you still need to have the basics of the first ingredient. The first 5 ingredients are most important. And you want to look at the ingredient panel, and they all descend from most to least. So your first, again, 4 or 5 ingredients is what you want to look at is most important. So if you want to have a first ingredient in a meat, maybe even the second ingredient in meat, and then rice or barley. No wheat, no corn, no soy. No any of that stuff.
No, you don't want no wheat, no corn, no soy.
Right, that's a no-no. Yes.
Oh yeah, but yet they put it in dog foods.
Yeah. I mean, the cheaper foods they do have it.
Right. But,
and then most commonly that's allergies. Can attribute to that.
Right, but if you're coming in and you say cheaper, but you're not talking that much in difference in prices. I mean, to me, my dog's part of the family. When they come in, yeah. So I want to be sure he stays healthy and he's eating the right things and everything else. Now I'm going to try something here, and I'm going to pick up, and with this is a signature. Everybody's kind of familiar with this. I guess it has kangaroo in it. I mean,
yeah. But see, they have now. First of all, when it comes to allergies in dogs, that can contribute to a number of issues. I mean, from ear infections, if they have chronic ear infections, their skin and coat it may be dull, flaky, hot spots. Typically, if you got issues like that with a dog, the first thing you want to do is mess with the food, change it up. The cool thing they have now is what they call a limited ingredient diet. Most of them all have that, limited ingredient diet. They all, so the idea is that you can look at it and there could be 20 or 30 different items on that ingredient panel, where the limited ingredient, there's a lot less. So you're, ruling out a lot of different issues. So then if you have an issue, say you feed a lamb rice and oatmeal type diet, and he does well with it, then you know that at least those ingredients are fine.
Right,
you know what I mean?
Right.
And then if you still have an issue with, say, the normal ones like chicken and lamb or beef, they have the off brands like a kangaroo, a fish.
Buffalo
I mean?
I saw up there. Yeah. I mean, I picked this up. I didn't realize they had kangaroo, so that kind of shocked me when I picked this up. But I'm looking here now. As I picked this up, I always false advertising, but it's not false advertising, misleading advertising, I want to say. So when you pick things up.
And that is why limited ingredient is also a great way to go. because they play games with the labels. They're going to take a rice, for instance, and cut it up to rice bran, rice flour, white rice, brown rice, and they'll actually have it all cut up. So if you have a chicken and then the next 3 ingredients is rice, well, now your rice is actually more than the meat.
Right.
So that's why, again, a limited ingredient diet is the way to go. That's going to rule that issue out. And obviously, you're going to look for that when you look at your ingredient panel and it's descending. You want to see if you see the same thing in there 2, 3, 4 times, and you know then that's.
Yeah, because this is because we talked about rice and everything, but I'm looking at this. It's kangaroo meal, peas, chickpeas, pea flour.
Right.
So it's kind of different than your other things with rice and things. So like you said, if you've got a dog and you're feeding and you're having problems with, it might be rice. You know? So there are some things out there.
And the other thing now, you're going to see a lot of things about grain-free, meaning that wheat and corn and soy has been beaten up for years, for decades now. The next generation of dog foods is they take that out and put in vegetables, potatoes, peas, and that sort of thing.
Yeah, so you want to stay away from the
less grains. The more grains in there, the more they're going to need to eat, because the more it just passes.
Right.
So if you look at like some of the really cheap foods that you get at, say, the supermarket, they're full of corn. So they're going to eat a lot more of it. There's going to be a lot more in your backyard to clean up. You know what I mean?
Okay, I never thought about that.
And the proteins and fats could still be close to the same, but an animal protein and a vegetable protein, and the dog metabolism absorbs it 2 different ways.
Right,
you know what I mean?
Right. So you basically want to look at meats, I guess, more than anything else.
Yes, very important. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I'm just looking at different ones and different brands. This is small breed, so this is something I can look at from puppies to adults.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if I get my guys eating this now, they can stay with it right on through their
all the way through. Yeah, and most of the diets that are the better foods, that aren't usually the national brands, don't really have all the cutting of the puppy and the light and all that stuff. They call it an all life stage diet because it's a balanced formula.
Right.
They may eat a little bit more of it as they're growing, as they need it. A dog only eats until it's nutritionally full. It's not like us where we sit down and we feel full. They need to continually eat until they nutritionally feel like they're set.
Right. You
know what I mean?
So they when they're not eating, you got a problem.
Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah, because it's also going to affect their energy level too.
Yeah, but I like this one because it's got sweet potatoes in it. It's got salmon meal. So it's there again. If you're buying dog food for your dog, very important. It's like I say, to feed them right. If you start out on feeding them right, they're going to stay healthier throughout their whole livelihood. There's no doubt about it.
And it's a kind of a cliche, but you are what you eat. It's the same thing for them. So if you're feeding a cheaper food, or say if you're just feeding, say, a canned food, or especially cheap canned food, it's almost equivalent to us eating McDonald's every day of our life.
Right.
You know what I mean? Eventually, it's going to take its toll.
Not good for us. So but I'm just looking at different things because it just. And
again, biscuits and cans, a lot of them coincide with whatever you're feeding them. Almost all the companies will have biscuits or cans that go with it. So the idea there is that you don't give them a great food. Say if you're trying to deal with an allergy, and then turn around and give them a cheap biscuit, then you're giving them the wheat and the corn all back again. So then you may never know if it was a diet or not. You know what I mean? You're still giving them what they might be allergic to.
I like this. This is all natural, oven baked, grain-free, gluten-free. So and no salt and sugar added. And so it's a healthy treat. Now, flavor-wise, they've got to be sure it's flavor. So
it's important, especially with the little guys. They're a little more finicky. I mean, say a Lab or a Rottweiler, they'll eat whatever. That Chihuahua or Yorkie,
they sniff it and walk away from it. So
yes.
But now coming in here, because I know this is just a few of your brands that you have here. You've got so many brands to choose from, and it's very important reading the label. That's the biggest key.
And have the dog's mind in mind. I know it's kind of hard to do, but you're not shopping for yourself. It's not what you would think that you would like. It's what the dog works with. Now, the dogs have different digestive tracts than we do. They don't have to worry about things like salmonella. And a lot of times when you hear there's a recall because the dog food had salmonella, that is because they're recalling it because they're worried about us getting it. Your dog eating it and then going lick your kid, your toddler or something, or you're handling it and then you're giving it to you. So dogs can eat a raw chicken. Right. They can catch one, eat it, and be fine. Right. And technically, it'd be great for them. Right. Obviously, we're not going to feed them do that. But
but it's better when you're looking at the ingredients. So it's all in the ingredients. And so I look at this, and you say the first part of this is duck. You want duck, you got duck.
Right.
So getting away from that the normal, you know, beef and pork and all that kind of stuff that
Sure.
they put into it. So all types of different flavors.
And dogs are just like us in that, you know, one food is not the same for all dogs. You know, where a hamburger might tear me up, and then I don't know, a hot dog might tear you up. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's different. Same thing with dogs. I wish I could say there's one food and that's all you need and we're done. You know, if you're feeding a food and it doesn't seem to be working out, whether it's the stool isn't right or the coat isn't right, there's a million other options to go with.
Right.
And again, pay attention to what you're doing or what you're getting. And that's why limited ingredient is very good, because it's very easy to know if you're getting, what you're putting into the dog.
Yeah, and for more help, you can always visit Pet Care. And Kevin's here. You got all expertise on the floor at all times, so all the guys understand this and what's best for your dog. I mean, and cat, birds, I don't care what it is. You want to be sure and feed them right. That's the main thing.
Very
so
important.
you're going to find that at Pet Care. 2 locations to serve you. We're here in what shop?
We're in Governor Square in Bear and Pencader in Newark.
Yeah, so if you're looking for some help, some hands-on help on feeding your dog, feeding your cat, whatever, to Pet Care and get with one of the folks there. They'll take care of you. Till next time, thank you, Kevin.
All right, thank you. Thank you.